Hi good life family, what's good and welcome back to the YouTube channel. Welcome to a new video and of course a new movie review. It's your girl Mimi Nasike and you are welcome to the channel. And please, you'd have to excuse me, you're going to be hearing a lot of background noise and you're just going to have to bear with me because as you can see, I'm obviously not wearing a mic. So Blood Sister season 2 has recently been released, and before we go in to do a review of the season 2 of the movie, let me do a quick recap of the season 1 for people who have probably not seen the movie at all, or people like me who saw the movie a long time ago when it was released and I've almost forgotten every single thing about the movie. First of all, I'm going to be starting off by introducing the Ademola family. Yeah. Now, first of all, once you need to know about the Ademola family is number one, they own a large, like a very big company that's known as Ademola Pharmaceuticals in this particular movie. Secondly, they are a big family, like they are a strong family. They are very influential. And when I say influential, I mean like president level influential, like proper movers and shakers of the country, kind of influential. First of all, we have Uduak Ademola, who is the matriarch of the Ademola family. Yeah, she doesn't have a husband. Mr. Ademola is obviously dead in this particular movie, as we can see. The role of Uduak Ademola is played by Mama Kate Henshaw. This woman is ruthless. This woman is just crazy. See, first of all, what you need to know about Ademola family is that all of them in this movie, they are crazy. Like all of them in this family, they are all mad. And like I think they got their madness for their mother because their mother is a proper mad woman. She brought pepper, she brought fire, she brought spice, she brought ginger and everything good and bright into this particular movie in a negative way. She comes off as a very cold, emotionless, mean kind of person. And honestly, I really wish that this movie had given us a little bit more reason as to why she didn't like her other children. Because like, I mean, like they give us some very fleeting reasons as to why she did not prefer them over Kola, that is her favorite son in this movie. But they don't give us like a deep, like this woman literally hated her children. Like she hated all of them. She only liked Kola for reasons best known to her, right? But like I really wish that they had given us like some kind of like backstory. And in as much as her daughter said something about her having like some kind of secret envy for her, like her relationship with their dad, that for me is not still reason enough as to why a mother would hate. This woman literally hated her children. Like Momsy, like why do you hate your kids? This woman was stone cold, like she was stone cold, period. Like no please and thank you inside. Unapologetically stone cold. And she didn't like her kids. And she pretty much didn't like anybody. She has 3 kids. We have Timaine Ademola, we have Femi Ademola, and we have the golden boy Kola Ademola. The role of Timaine Ademola is played by Genoveva Ume, and Genoveva Ume brought in spice, juice, energy, and everything good into this movie. Timaine can smoke for Africa. She can sniff things for Africa. Like if you're going to see Timaine, run into Timaine 10 times, you most likely find her 9.5 times high and 0.5 times high. That's how high she is. In this movie, we can see that the family is sending her in and out of different rehabilitation centers to fix her basically substance abuse situation, but not this is the working. The movie kind of like portrays her to be smart in a different kind of way. I just genuinely feel like the movie was trying to let us know that if she was given a chance by the mom, that's obviously the villain in this movie, she looks promising. She would do something nice, right? And let's move over to Femi. Femi is Uduak Ademola's first son, and the role of Femi is played by Gabriel Afolayan, and fantastic actor also, by the way. Femi is portrayed in this particular movie to be not the most ballsy kind of young man that you would ever meet on a daily basis. He kind of had like a problem of owning up like to his shit and like just basically being a man and man up kind of vibe, he comes off in this particular movie as very cowardly, very spineless. That's the word. Okay? Now let's talk about the golden boy, Kola Ademola. Kola Ademola is handsome, he's rich. I mean, like he's the one who runs like the family business. He's really smart. He's the golden boy, the only child that the mother loves among all of her 3 children for reasons best known to her. And then there is the dark side to Kola. Kola is narcissistic. He is basically, just say in summary, he's a madman. Yeah, because I think Kola from this particular movie is portrayed to have like a kind of like a kink or a fetish for physically assaulting his love interest. Like if he comes to you and you say I love you, can we run? No, because now beating he would like physically you know, like disfigure them, do dangerous stuff to them, leave them with like permanent scars on their body, and paint them or draw them afterward. And that made him feel good for some reason. You see why I say he was a madman? Now let's move over to the Duru family. In the Duru family, we have Mr. and Mrs. Duru, and then we have Sarah Duru. The role of Mr. Duru, I cannot remember for the life of me the name of that actor, but I'm going to check it out. I'm going to put it somewhere on the screen so you'll see it. And then the role of Mrs. Duru, that is Sarah Duru's mother, is played by Uche Jumbo. And let's talk about the blood sisters and the besties in this particular movie, namely Kemi Sonia and Sarah Duru. Kemi Sonia, the role of Kemi Sonia is played by the beautiful and super talented Nancy Isime, and the role of Sarah Duru is played by the ever dazzling and super gorgeous Inidima Okoje. And Sarah Duru and Kemi Sonia are tight, as in like through thick and thin tight. I mean like till death do us part tight. I mean like anybody mess with you, they're messing with me, and vice versa, kind of tight. Now the movie starts off on a kind of like a small ceremonial note. Kola Ademola and Sarah Duru are getting married. Mind you, Sarah Duru comes from like a very average family. They're not necessarily poor, but then they are average. I don't think her dad has a lot of money. And I think that he had some like financial crisis, because from this movie, I think we can tell that the Ademolas gave them a big loan. Yeah, a lot of money. So I feel like Sarah Duru's parents are like genuinely very glad that Sarah is marrying into this big family, like, you know, like all of our financial problems are over kind of vibe, right? So like they don't want to hear nothing. Like it is either you marry this man or you marry this man. There is no second option there. Now at the beginning part of this movie, we can see that Femi Ademola pays a thug to take out his brother, like off the surface of this God's green planet, because number one, mommy likes you too much. Secondly, this company that you're heading, I want to head it. I need the money. Yeah, so Femi wants to be the head of the Ademola company, like Ademola Pharmaceuticals, which is like a big shot, like in the fictional Nigeria that is being portrayed in this particular movie. So one way to do that is to either convince the mother to let him be like the CEO and run the family business, which is never going to happen because the mother only has one child as far as she's concerned. The rest are artifacts. So that one is out of the option. The second and the most obvious only other option available is to collar, and that's exactly what that's exactly the option that Femi is going for. So now he hires a hitman to get the job done in his wedding venue. You see how sick this family is? I told you they're crazy. Anyway, you would not believe who this hitman is in this particular movie. He's nobody other than our own Maurice Sam. Anyway, Maurice Sam was in his element, in his bad boy killer element in this particular movie. Killer, the hitman, comes into like the venue, and the groom, unluckily for him, the groom spots him and catches him and like beats the shit out of him, and you know, like sends him out, and security escorts him out and flick him. And mind you, this hitman had a gun. When Kola Ademola beats the shit out of this man and kicks his ass out of the premises, he holds onto the gun and he keeps it somewhere with him. Take note of that, because that's a very important detail in the whole grand scheme of this movie, right? Hold on to that thought. Now, another drama that unfolds in this particular wedding venue is that Sarah Duru's ex, Kenny. Yeah, the role of Kenny is played by Ibrahim Suleiman. So Kenny shows up at the venue. He's like, Sarah. Security is like, no, sir, you can't go in. He's like, no, me, I can go in. No, me, I must go in. I know that bride. Hey, hello. He's like, Sarah. Sarah is like, oh my God, what's this? What's Kenny? What's he doing here? Then Kemi, that's her best. He's like, no, you have to go and tell him to go. What's he doing here now? You know now, they can't tell. Okay. Security, please. I know him. Well, let me talk to him. And then she wants to like talk to him quickly. She's like, Kenny, what are you doing here? Yada. And I said, Sarah, why you want to marry him? You know I love you. I said, no, I'm done with you. Sorry ass. Like, leave me alone. I want to marry into this rich family. I want to marry Kola. I like him. Yada. I was like, the whole drama, they're just discussing, talking. And Kola, somewhere in the crowd, cites the whole small drama that is being displayed. It's like, what the heck? Like, what is that ex? What is that poor, stinky peasant ex doing in my wedding venue? And what the hell is Sarah doing talking with that guy? It's like, I told Sarah to cut off all ties, yada. And then his friend, his bestie, Akin. The role of Akin is played by Daniel Etim Effiong, by the way. Akin comes and like, okay, bro, chill, don't worry, let me go and fix this. And then he now goes over to the door where the whole small drama is unfolding. It's like half. Bro, please, you have to leave here now. Leave. And then bro goes. It's escorted to the premises with security. I be by security. Anyone. We thought that the matter has been settled. Next thing, Kola calls Sarah aside, like to the bedroom, as in to her side. Let us have a little bit of a discussion. And that discussion is what? Beating, thorough mending. He beats the shit out of her. It's like, are you mad? Are you stupid? What are you doing with that? She's like, no, nothing. You just came, I don't even know what happened. It's like, I must beat you. Bish. He beats it out of her. Hey. And then she's like crying and stuff, right? Although the movie makes us understand that prior to that time, Sarah and her friend had already agreed that if he hits her again, she's going to be done. Like, don't let him hit you no more. He doesn't have a right to beat you and stuff, all those kind of things. So it's like, if he hits you again, we're done. And they agree, like they agree to that, right? So nobody knows that Kola took her to the room to go and mend her. So they went down for like family dinner kind of thing. And while Papa is busy praising the Lord and praising his gods of his land, that he's so happy that his daughter is getting married, Kim is looking at her friend and she's like, are you good? So later now, they now have like a little bit of a two-aside situation, like talking like, how far? Sarah, you told me that if he hits you again, you're going to leave him. You cannot marry him, you have to leave him, you have to leave his ass. She's like, okay. Sarah now finally decides to like summon the courage and decides to tell Kola that she's no longer doing the wedding again, that she doesn't want to marry again. Now Sarah calls him like for a little bit of it, like a two-aside, like let's discuss. Okay, she's like, okay, Kola, I don't want to, like you said, you will not be hitting me again. This one that you hit me is like, it's really painful, it's too much for me. I don't think I can marry you again. And Kola is like, I'm sorry, I was angry. Maybe you angry. He's like, no, please, I will not marry you again. He said, you not marry who? Beat. He said, you not marry who? Who goes you? He said, I will not marry you. Kola, if you like kill me. He said, okay, I will kill you. He said, Oga said you must marry. She said she will not marry. And then he's like busy trying to like strangle her. He's like strangling her. And then like Kemi comes in and she's like, you want to kill my own friend? She now cries something to now hit him. The guy turned her, he just gave her back and stuff. She fell on the ground. He went back to go and continue killing the friend. In the process of that whole drama, the gun, remember the gun I told you to remember in your head? The gun fell out of his pockets and it's like, oh my god, this guy has a gun. Like that means he wants to kill Sarah in real life. Lie. Kemi's like, I cannot agree. She now carries the gun and like, like in the whole heat of the moment, like everything is just like happening. There's noise everywhere. She just pulls the trigger and she shoots Kola. And Kola hears the sirens in his head before he falls to the ground dead. And like everybody's like, what happened? I was like, Timo, I killed a man. What goes on? It's like, okay, what do we do? And next thing they hear a knock at the door, they have to quickly cover up like the corpse because like the guests downstairs are waiting for the couple. Like, you guys invited us here for a wedding. What goes on? Where are you? That kind of thing. And like everybody's waiting. People are starting to get like impatient and stuff. It's like, okay, where are they? So Akin, the bestie of Kola, comes upstairs to come and call them. Like, how far? You people are going to have like a full life to admire and love upon yourselves later. Come down and attend to your guests and finish up your wedding ceremony, right? So he comes upstairs and he knocks at the door and the girls hear it and like, oh my god, someone's at the door. Then I think they quickly hide up the body, keep it somewhere safe. Then Kemi goes on to check on the door. I'm like, who goes you? Like, oh, it's you, Akin. They're like, oh, I'm looking for Kola. It's like, Kola, where's Kola? It's like, okay, no, he's not here. He just went out. Like, he went out. I didn't see him. I'm aware of, well, maybe you missed him. Duh. Like, he left. He's no longer here. She has to just, okay, it's like, okay, how about the bride? People are waiting. She's like, okay, don't worry. She'll be with you guys shortly. She just, like, trying to, like, women things now, clean up and look like pretty and whatever for like her big day. He's like, okay, like you guys should like hurry up, guests are waiting, people are getting impatient. Like, okay, no problem. And then he goes, she shuts the door and they're like, what do we do? Then they pack his carcass and corpse and they they keep it safely in the bathroom, neatly clean up the mess, and then they go downstairs to resume the wedding. Papa, that's Mr. Duru, tells Sarah, take this palm wine, show us your husband. Sarah goes around obviously knowing that she's not going to be seeing Kola anywhere there, because why? You killed him, silly. Anyway, she goes around obviously not seeing Kola in the gathering of people, because Kola is not here. Where is he? He is in hell as we speak. So she comes back to her father and she falls down crying, and like the guest gets the hint. The groom is nowhere to be found. At this particular point in time, Uduak is not even phased at all. She's not bothered. Do you know why? Because she genuinely feels like Kola had decided to just end this whole shenanigans of getting married to this poor riffraff and run off to just go and chill somewhere. Because in her mind, first of all, she doesn't like Sarah for nothing. Aside from the fact that she's poor, like, how do you come to marry my golden boy? Me, I want to be the one to marry him myself. You cannot marry him. I really don't know what goes on in her head and the reason why she genuinely, like, deliberately hates this girl so much, but she hates her too to pieces. Like, if looks could kill, she'll kill her 1,000 times every single time she sets her eyes on her because she hates her that much. So she's not even bothered when she hears her son running from the room. Like, when she hears her son is missing from the wedding, she's not bothered. In fact, she's glad, she's elated because she feels like her son has finally come to his senses, and yeah, he's not marrying her again, and he just ran off to go and chill, and he's good. Anyway, they end up sending off the guests now because I mean, like, groom is nowhere to be found. What are you guys to do? Everybody everybody go home. So like they close up and like the guests leave. The girls go back upstairs to go and finish up the mess that they started. And it's like, what do we do? What do we do? Because we can't leave him here like this. People are going to know something happened. So what do we do? Then Kemi comes up with the idea that they should butcher the body for easy transportation. Then they rush over to the kitchen. Okay, by the way, Sarah's like, how can we butcher? How can we butcher? She's like, we have to, we don't have any other way. That's all we have to do. And then they rush over to the kitchen in the middle of the night when everyone's asleep, and they go and pick like some very sharp knives, and they run over back to their hotel room. They lock the door. They go to the bathroom where the body is kept, and Kemi, the brave one, decides to go for the first strike. Like, she goes for the neck straight and slices the head off the neck. While Sarah is busy throwing up in the back, by the way, because for some reason she's not bold enough to, like, she can't stomach all of this, like all of this killing, this harshness in this world is not for her soft life self. Anyway, when Kemi does this, she realizes that that is it, to dismember this entire body is not child's play. We'll probably be here all night for 40 days and 40 nights. So we have to just go and throw him away like that. Let's find a way to dispose his body just like the way it is. So they pick up the head and the rest of the body, they wrap it up, and they go and, you know, pack it together and get ready to run outside and go and find a place to bury the body in the middle of the night while everybody's asleep. They sneak out over to, like, they disguise themselves as cleaning people like room service cleaners in the hotel kind of vibe, and then they rush over to the parking lot to go and load the body in Kemi's car. I think that's Kemi's car. I'm not really certain who owns the car, but like in the process while they are loading the sack of body into the boot of the car and some shovels, dressed up like in a cleaning outfit, there's a reporter, no, someone that like intends to cover the event, probably for blogs and all those kinds of things. You know, like rich people now, he's sleeping over in the parking lot probably because he wants to be early, like come early enough tomorrow to get like a good angle to film the whole event, you know, and post on his page sometime. I don't really know, I'm just making up like a whole scenario. And he happens to wake up and he's like, what goes on? Aren't this Kemi Sonia and Sarah Duru, the supposed bride who was abandoned in her wedding? What goes on? Like, what are they doing here out by this time of the night? These guys as cleaners, and what are they loading into the trunk of the car? And guess what? Chakam, yeah. He takes a picture of the whole event that is unfolding before the girls load the body into the truck, and then they drive off, and then they go somewhere far away, dig up a very shallow grave, dump the body in there, dump the head, load it back with sand, enter their car, and back to the hotel. So next day, everyone is frantic, like, I can't remember, Kola, where's Kola? Kola's mom is still not bothered at this point in time, by the way, just so you know. And Femi is obviously not bothered because, I mean, like, a win is a win. My assassin did not succeed in taking you out, but someone else did. I mean, I'm Gucci, if you ask me. She's the only one that's bothered in the entire family. She's like, Mom, something is wrong. Mom is like, you're a crack at the get it out of my face. And she goes to go and confront her brothers, like, how far you did something to our brother? Because she told me if anything happens to him, do to our brother. What have we done to our brother? This and that and that and that. And then his wife. Now let's introduce the wife. Like, the wife is like a junior Udwak. Kind of like, I just genuinely feel like she would grow to a point in her life where she would become even more mean than Udwak, because even in her low level, she's like very scheming, conniving, very sly. She's always on the ground working some, you know, background work. And I guess what? The whole assassin idea on Kola on his wedding day was her idea. That's how much of a snake she actually is, a bad influence. Anyway, those are the kind of people like Udwak. I mean, like, that's the kind of person that you have to be if you want to survive in this Ademola family, because they're all crazy. You can't come in there being normal and survive. The role of the wife of Femi, her name is Yinka, by the way. The role of Yinka is played by Kehinde Bankole. Kehinde Bankole is such a fine woman. Permit me to say, I mean, like, that's off topic, but like, she's really pretty and she's such a fantastic actress. Yinka sees the sister and she's like, sister is talking, she's like, something, you did something to our brother, blah, 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 just making noise in the house. And she's like, how far, what goes you? Do you want to sniff something? Do you want money? I have money, take money. Do you want coke? Do you want this one? this one, just give her like a long list of things that she can actually get high on, and the girl is like, oh my god, high in items. But then she breaks free and she's like, no, I'll be back for you guys. And then she goes to tell her mom, like, these people are planning something. This is what my brother told me. And I mean, like, this family is just crazy. Because instead of the mom to like listen to what the daughter is saying and give her like a listening ear and let's work together to like find our brother, my son, she goes on to start insulting the girl, calling her names, telling her how she's such a failure, how she's a drug addict, and that's all she's ever going to ever be in her entire life, how she's useless, how she's a disappointment, how she's been a disappointment since the day she since the day she was conceived. Up until this point, just like a whole lot of like down talking her and telling her like how she and then the girl's like, mom, believe me, I'm trying my best. I know, I'm like, I'm not all that, but like I've been sober for this number of days and like I am going to keep, just believe me, I just need you to believe me. The mother said, you are an addict and that's all you're ever going to be. Go back and smoke some weed. Shallow grave is dug up by wild dogs and they're eating Kola's flesh and drinking his blood. And the process of that, the whole thing gets captured by the news and then it goes viral, like it goes on the news and it's like everybody's like, how far, what goes on? Kola is dead. And Udwak hears this and she goes crazy. Prior to that time, mind you, she had already sent Sarah Duru out of her house because she's like, your group is no longer here. What the heck? What the heck? Like, what the heck are you still doing in my house? Like, pack your poverty-stricken things and get the hate out of my house, right? I mean, like, Femi is like surprised that somebody can be like more ruthless than him and his wife. It's like, okay, I mean, like, a win is a win at the end of the day. Either ways, Kola is dead, and that's all that matters. Now, congratulations to me, I'm about to rule the Ademola Pharmaceuticals company, and that's all that matters, period. She sent her special bodyguard, the Ademola family bodyguard, Uncle B, and the role of Uncle B is played by Ramsey Noah. Uncle B makes it his life duty to hunt down these girls and bring back their head on a platter for Uduak. Okay? The girls now are on the run. They are running for their lives because, like, she's getting crazy. They communicate with Kenny. You know Kenny, the ex? They communicate with him and tell him, like, the whole situation that goes on, and he agrees to help them to find their way out of the country and escape to Ghana. For the meantime, to just lay low and cool their heads while they think of what next steps to take. So one thing leads to the other. Uncle B finds them where they are and he tries to like kill them, beat them, and like they run away. Kenny loses the passport, so like they're not able to travel to Ghana again. That particular plan is closed. They lose their phones, they lose the only money that they have, basically just everything. Like they are pretty much almost hopeless at this point. Then Kemi comes up with the brilliant idea that they should go to a village where her grandmother lives, where she grew up, and just, you know, like lay low for there for a while. Like nobody's going to come look for them there like that. She thought that would be the last place that anybody would go to look for them, right? But unfortunately, Uncle B, the python, now they are in a lonely road and they need help, and luckily for them they happen to come across a man and a woman driving in a car, and they're like, how far do you guys need help? This place is quite lonely, let's help you, yada yada yada. They end up agreeing and they later get to find out that the man is a doctor. He's a good doctor that agrees to help them, right? It's like, okay, let us take you, I'm actually headed in the direction you guys are going, so we can actually drop you, but the only things that I am a doctor, I need to stop by my place and pick a few things, and from there we'll head over to the village. Is that good? And they're like, yeah, good, let's go. And from there the lady gets to tell Kemi that you guys look so tired, you guys look exhausted. The good doctor will not mind, you can stay and rest this night and continue tomorrow, just bathe, eat, sleep. And like the offer is so tempting, the girls agree to just stay, eat, rest for the night at least before they go over to Kemi's grandmother's village. So unknown to them, long story cut short, the good doctor is actually the bad doctor. He is an organ harvester and that's what he does for a living. He pays off the lady that helps to convince them to stay, and she goes away, and then it's just them and the good doctor in his house. And the good doctor drugs Sarah, that is Inidima Okoje, drugs her and takes her to his dissecting table, and he maps out on her body the parts of the body that he's going to, the places that he's going to remove one or two necessary organs for sale, while Kemi is busy showering. And he goes out to look for Kemi, and then he finds her in her room while she's trying to get dressed, and then he slices her with like some sharp surgical blade. And a knock at the door interrupted him, so he had to go and see who was at the door, while Kemi had the opportunity to run and try to save her friend. Now Kenny like can't find the girls, right? Because the place they were supposed to meet, they didn't meet up there. The place they were staying before, like hiding out, that place was destroyed, so he has to look for them. And Sarah communicated with him earlier. She found the phone and she was able to call Kenny. She called him and he tracked their location to that place, and he came out to come and ask the good doctor, right? So when Kenny knocked at the door, he went to attend to see who was at the door. And then when he went there, it's like, how I'm looking for Sarah. I got a call from her. She told me she was here. I mean, I tracked her location to this particular place. So I would like to see her. I was like, oh no, are you sure? Because like there's no Sarah here. I was like, no, I'm sure. Like her location is showing that she's here right now as we speak. The good doctor is like, she is not here. And he's like, are you sure? Are you sure? This and that and that. And then the good doctor just carries a sharp blade that he just tears his jugular, and the guy bleeds to death. Yeah, that was like basically the end of Kenny. Do you get like Kenny did not have to die? I mean, like this, not like this. I mean, like not right now. Like we only just saw him in like 3-4 scenes, and like he died such a brutal death. That was so unfair. Anyway, Kenny dies and Amy comes out carrying Sarah, gets ready for them to escape. She and the doctor do like a little bit of battling here and there, and yeah, she ends up killing the good doctor. Basically, that's like good riddance. And she carries Sarah's sleeping body and puts her in Kenny's car that he left behind as the only thing that he wheeled over to them after he died. And they start heading for grandma's village. And yeah, long story short, they finally find their way to Kemi's grandmother's village, and they're reunited at last. And then they tell her like everything that happened. She just gives them food to eat, you know, rest, all those kind of things. But unfortunately, the police just come over there and they capture the girls. The role of Kemi's grandmother, by the way, is played by Joke Silva. And the police come and they capture the girls. They fake capture the girls because they think they're taking them over to prison, but they're not. They hand them over to Uncle B, and Uncle B takes them to the Ademola family old warehouse as he was instructed by Ujak Ademola. And because the whole family is present, apart from Kola, obviously he's there. Anyway, Uncle B wants to shoot the girls now because like, you guys are the killers, let's kill them. And then Timmy is like, no. Ujak then tells Femi to take the gun and avenge his brother. At least prove to me for once that you have chest, you have liver to do something. Femi takes the gun and he's trembling. She's like, you're useless. And then Timmy now like, give me the gun. I will do it. Let me avenge my brother. She takes the gun. The mother's like, I'm proud of you. At least you're finally proving to me that you can be useful. Unfortunately, she takes the gun, she shoots Uncle B, shoots her brother, shoots the wife, like bullets are flying everywhere. The girls, like she releases the girls, she makes them to release the girls, the besties, and they run away, you know, like for their dear lives. And then the next thing they're running, they're hearing bullets. They're hearing bullets flying around like everywhere behind them, and like, oh my god, what goes on? Anyway, it shall not concern us. Make we just run, they go. They were just running and they were going. While Timmy finally points the gun at her mother's big head, and she's like telling her how her mother's treated her badly. Mother is crying, please, Timmy, I'm your mother. I'm like, so this woman, you can cry, you can beg. This one was so stone cold in this movie. Like she was so stone cold. So me seeing her in that vulnerable position, crying and begging someone, I'm like, so this one can cry. You have water inside this your eyes. You're crazy. My man shoots this nonsense. So the next thing we hear is just gunshots. Everywhere goes blank. The detective comes and he sees the girls. He helps them basically. That's basically how the movie ends. Yeah. Anyway, that's a quick recap on the season 1 of Blood Sisters. If you've watched up until this point, thank you so much for watching. Do also give this video a thumbs up if you actually enjoyed it or found it helpful. This movie is currently showing on Netflix, by the way, in case you're wondering what platform this movie is being streamed on. It's currently streaming on Netflix, the movie, and that brings us to the end of this particular video. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you so much for hanging out with me up until this point. If you aren't yet subscribed to this channel, please do also hit the subscribe button to get subscribed to this channel, turn on your notifications to get notified whenever I put out new amazing content like this. And until I come again to your screen, I remain your girl Mimi. And I say, hey, thank you so much for stopping by. I love you all dearly, and God bless you. Bye.